Hello and welcome. My name is Roohi Yoonus, and I will be presenting on Mindset of Abundance, how collaboration between nonprofits can facilitate greater success. And I will be covering this under three main objectives. The first is looking at a marginalized community, in this case, Muslim-led nonprofits, and looking at the systemic challenges they face. Second is looking at scarcity versus abundance mindsets. And finally, how philanthropists and giving circles can promote greater collaboration through stewardship. So as we go into the first, which is looking at systemic challenges, and most of the systemic challenges that Muslim-led organizations have is how we are perceived. So who are Muslim Americans? We make up about 1% of the population. However, we are overwhelmingly US citizens. The second is that we are ethnically diverse. We are extremely diverse with no one majority ethnicity. The most is Black or African American, followed by Asian or Pacific Islander. So from these two data points, we can help start to understand how the perception is different than the reality, and that we are a racialized minority where we are put into one grouping, but we are actually multiple communities with no one spokesperson. And because of our diversity, if we are left out, then a portion of all these minority groups would also be overlooked. You will find parallels in this, parallel findings with other marginalized communities as well, of challenges that they are seeking to overcome. So what environment does that create within Muslim-led nonprofits? So we are trying to solve a broad set of problems on a limited budget, seeking the same funding sources. So that increases competitiveness and creates a closed off environment versus an abundance mindset where we can imagine what it is like to say that my organization can have and that my partner organization or other complementary organizations can actually have too. And it's important to note here that funding sources, sometimes grant makers, can increase competitiveness. What I learned from our Indigenous brothers and sisters is that at times they are asked to, multiple organizations are asked to apply for a grant, but only one actually receives it. And because these organizations are in community with each other, it creates a competitiveness internally and takes away from opportunities to collaborate that can help reach missions and visions faster. So now I'd like to bring this together in an implementation. So at the Lilly Family Philanthropy School, we had an action-based research project called the Community Collaboration Initiative that ran from 2020 to 2022. So the first year was about building trust. We spent an entire year learning how to trust each other. The second year was about collaboration through programming, and the third year was collaboration through sustainability. What you'll see here is the 5 collaborative groups and the projects they chose to undertake between year 2 and year 3. So this is the part where philanthropists and giving circles can really lean in. In the year 3, in order to reach our sustainability goals, where organizations sought funding together, we established a Muslim Collaboration Prizes, which was $1 million pooled fund that was put together with our allies within and outside of the community, some of whom that you can see are listed here. And it addressed both of the first 2 objectives I brought to your attention. The first is moving towards abundance mindset and overcoming systemic challenges. So for the Muslim-led groups, what we did is that each group had the opportunity to receive the full funds of $200,000. And the decision would be made based on the strength of their collaboration and the impact of their goals. On the other hand, we also partnered with our allies to establish a selection committee. The selection committee was made up of mainstream program officers who had an opportunity to learn about these organizations through pre-readings, through dialogue, and through direct engagement, which ended up being a 10-month learning experience. And we also, what we did is we made sure that there was direct access to funding partners without any gatekeeping. And finally, that we involved our allies in the design as well. So if you can see in this photo, we have one of our program officers, Mirza Bandera from the Chicago Community Trust, who's receiving a DEI certificate for her engagement and involvement in learning about our communities. So how did it all come together? It all came together in a very beautiful way and is best expressed through the summary video, which I will be sharing with you now. It's about 4 minutes long, and after that, we will conclude.
The reason we started Community Collaboration Initiative was really to make sure that the Muslim American stories were told by the Muslim American voices.
This was a unique experience because there were professionals in advocacy that I met. There were professional lobbyists I met. There were professionals from different fields. All of these people came together and our end goal was the same, but the diversity of experience has actually optimized the process.
I've learned so much about how we can use collaboration to address social ills, how we can leverage our collective power through relationship building, and how we can advocate for ourselves.
It's been an eye-opening experience to see how these organizations work, the impact that they have, and quite frankly, we're learning from the work that we're observing with these organizations.
The impact that we hope to have through this is to strengthen an important social sector. I'm a strong believer that our society can't be as strong as it needs to be unless we have everyone involved, everyone included, everyone with opportunities. And if they're missing pieces, we're not going to be complete.
I learned that we're a much more diverse and robust community, but we do face some challenges that are unique to us in this space and this time, and some things that we can do, but we also need foundations, supporters, donors, others to really understand the complexity of the situation and really lean in right now.
A lot of people sometimes think to be a philanthropist you need to have a lot of money, right? But we all are philanthropists in our everyday lives. And I would say it's the same thing also for organizations. So even if you're not ready to be a funder of some of these organizations, right? There are some lessons there that you have, that you own, some resources that you could maybe avail to these organizations to help them, empower them and really allow them to execute effectively on their mission.
$1 million was just distributed to 22 organizations.
I think the most important lesson that CCI has to offer, and I'm hoping any other foundation, policymaker, nonprofit can learn from it, is the power, the impact, and the feasibility of collaboration. It's all possible. Anything can be done. It just requires time, space, and resources to make it happen.
I'm still sitting with the comment that was made earlier that the most pressing challenges in our communities, the solutions, they're fairly simple and straightforward, but the pathway is never easy. And that's where we always get stuck on. There's no shortage of solutions. It's the process of how do we get there where we always get stuck.
These are organizations that do just as tremendous work as we do, but there's so many restraints in terms of how we can do those things. And so now we're not just limited to just that finite point. We have made a commitment to move forward beyond this.
I see bringing together these groups, bringing together groups who have different experiences, different knowledge sets, different ways of thinking about the world as really critical to what makes us strong.
Thank you for your attention during that summary video. For more information on the project, please visit the Community Collaboration Initiative website at the Lilly Family School of Philanthropy. I would love to field your questions. You can message me on the We Give Summit platform or via LinkedIn. Thank you very much.